now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book The Man Crisis comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Former CNN contributor Angela Rye claims that former CNN anchor Chris Cuomo sent her explicit text messages after she posted some pictures of herself in a sequined bikini on Instagram. Now, according to reports, Angela Rye, a black woman who was contributing reports to CNN, claims that after she posted a picture of herself wearing a sequined bikini, Chris Cuomo sent her a sexually explicit text message saying, "Happy New Year, tinsel crotch." Now, according to Angela Rye, she claims that this was the reason why she didn't get a contract renewal at CNN. However, when I take a critical look at the entire situation regarding Angela Rye, I believe the reason why she possibly did not get a contract renewal was because of her own inappropriate behavior. Now, in my book, Stop Simping in the Workplace, I go over the definition of sexual harassment, and the definition of sexual harassment under federal law for both men and women are unwanted and unwarranted advances from an individual or creating a hostile environment. Now, when it comes to Angela Rye's behavior of posting this bikini on Instagram, this could possibly be construed as creating a hostile environment for CNN, and for CNN as a professional organization, they could see her taking this picture of this bikini as something that could create an issue for them as related to liability. Now, a person's social media is something that they're doing off work. However, if they are posting up pictures that are inappropriate, this could lead to a business looking to protect itself from this person's behavior, creating a hostile environment, and that could have possibly been the reason for CNN not looking to renew Angela Rye's contract, not the statements made by Chris Cuomo, who already was an employee who had been terminated. And again, since he was terminated, he was not somebody under their jurisdiction anymore. And if he did send this inappropriate text message, there was nothing that the organization could do regarding it, because if you post information on social media, it is open for any criticism, even from that of former employees. So Angela Rye's efforts to try to make this allegation really have no real merit as related to Chris Cuomo, except for possible defamation, because unless she can produce said text message with that whole snapshot of the picture that she took, she has no real evidence to corroborate or substantiate it. So her whole claim as related to Chris Cuomo is one that would basically wind up falling apart as related to an allegation. And I just, again, find it quite interesting that she says that, oh, this was something that happened as related to this man, as related to creating an inappropriate text message. But basically, according to federal law, she wound up creating that whole situation by participating in what could be construed as unprofessional behavior. Now, I find it interesting after Angela Rye, a black woman, made this allegation against a white man, we really don't see any of the usual individuals who are going to come out and claim that she was allegedly harassed coming out. We see no members of the Me Too movement, such as Tarana Burke or Rose McGowan, or any of these other individuals like Gloria Allred and Lisa Bloom, coming to her defense. nor do we see any of the white feminists saying that Angela Rye was done wrong. And I find that quite interesting that when a black woman makes a claim against a white man, that black woman has no supporters, and that black woman has nobody to come out to stand up for her. No, she's basically left out on her own, and she's left out on her own basically because when it comes to white feminists, they don't see black women as people at all, nor do they respect black women. No, even though you'll have the feminists come out in the case of a black man in these kind of situations talking about protect black women, but when those black women want to make claims against a white man, those white feminists do not show up at all to make any sort of claim as related to this whole situation. Now, this whole situation with Angela Rye basically is one that really shows how little respect they have for black women in mainstream media, and how basically they just see them as tokens that they put in place just to be there to just meet their diversity quotas. And that's basically what Angela Rye, like Professor Black Truth calls lettuce and tomatoes on the side. They basically saw her the same way they saw a side piece, and because they basically saw her the same way they saw a side piece, they didn't have any real regard for her, and that's why they could basically get rid of her. And she really doesn't really have much of a claim here as related to this inappropriate text message, because she was the one who posted a picture of herself on social media, and if there were a bunch of thirsty pookies on IG, she would be out here, wouldn't have a word to say about any of the things that they say on IG, but because the white man goes out here and posts up a message, she wants to make a claim to get attention for herself. But the whole thing is, she basically doesn't see how this is just destroying her own credibility, because any company now would see her as a liability threat, because if she's posting bikini pictures of herself, they fear that this woman would possibly create a hostile environment on their job and make them liable for possible sexual harassment lawsuits. That's what they fear as related to Angela Rye with lettuce and tomatoes on the side. And what this woman wants to do is continue to try to make herself relevant now that she, like Roland Martin and other bootlicks, are no longer relevant. She now knows that she's a bootlick without a retirement plan. And this is another desperate attempt to try to get her name out there. But the irony is that as she gets her name out there, she's basically proving to everyone that she is not somebody they need on their job, because she's a liability. And if she's out here calling out one white man that she used to work with, then she'll call out other white men on the job. And in the system of white supremacy, they want their black bootlicks to remain silent. So Angela Rye, basically, she was trying to garner sympathy with this whole plan, but this whole plan blew up in her face. And it blew up in her face because she didn't understand basic federal policy as related to sexual harassment. Again, sexual harassment is all about unwanted and unwarranted advances. And when you put information on the internet, on a place like Instagram, you are basically opening yourself up to any sort of individual. And you cannot go out here and make claims when you put information out there. No, in order to create a real actual claim for sexual harassment, it has to be unwanted and unwarranted advances, and it also has to be a hostile environment in a workplace. And since neither one of these individuals were working anywhere, there really isn't a claim of anything. But what is being done here is an effort to try to get attention, but that attention is not going to want to benefit Angela Rye, because she's shown everyone in corporate America that she no longer knows how to play the game with white supremacy. Now, if you want to pick up my book, Stop Simping in the Workplace, to learn how to avoid dealing with situations like this that could jam you up on the job, you can find that book in paperback and Kindle format on Amazon.com, and you can also find it at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you'd like to see me do more workplace videos, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App to request a workplace video by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available for the first time in paperback. Stop Simping in the Workplace. Men, learn what you need to know in order to protect your job from workplace predators with Stop Simping in the Workplace. Available in paperback at online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.